Hey everyone, how we doing today? I am pinning a title. Give me 1 second. Let me make a title here. I am pinning a title. Okay. So, all right, I got my thing going. I'm gonna give people a minute to like come in, all of that good stuff, and we will get started in a minute. Hi, good folks. Hello. How we doing? All right, so here we are, and it is another Saturday, and today's topic is when Black identity is up for grabs, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. If you saw my post earlier, you'll know that I'm talking about Jessica Krug. So welcome to Caribbean Scholar Things. Today is September 5th, 2020. I am your host, Kat J. Stevens, and I'm a full-time PhD student in the nice, friendly field of education. So how did I get here on this platform? I am a Caribbeanist that happens to fall into education, and through that, CST was started, it was born. So before I get started with the actual topic for today, you know that we always meet on Saturdays from 1 to 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every Saturday, God willing, I'll be here. And so the lives are always going to be saved, and we do a different topic per week depending on what's going on. So yes, a little bit more about the structure, because I know folks do watch it as it's happening, and then folks catch it later. And pretty much I'll share my notes and my thoughts, and we can interface together. You can leave your comments and your questions in the comments below, and we can just talk together. So I want you to remember that Caribbean Scholar Things welcomes all of our island brilliance, and please join the conversation. Degreed up or not, it is our birthright. Reasoning and thinking and talking and community belongs to us. So why this topic? So with regards to what happened a few days ago, what popped up on Twitter, and is now a national, probably viral, and definitely perhaps maybe even global news story, is centering around this particular woman named Jessica Krug. Let me get my coffee, because it's serious. So why am I talking about this today? With regards to what happened, what was put on display, what came out for the masses a few days ago on Twitter, involving this particular scholar named Jessica Krug, and it has to do with Black identity, of course, scholarship, integrity, race, and many, many, many more things. And so I'm going to get into it. Let's get into it. That is why I'm talking about this topic today. I'm not talking about this topic today to be salacious or anything like that. I'm talking about this topic today so because it impacts us as a scholarly community, especially Black scholars, especially Black women scholars, and this is a very, very, very like wild thing to even imagine, to even believe, to even understand. And so there's a lot of things to talk about. So a few days ago, what was it? Today's Saturday, so this was like 2 days ago. I don't even know where to start. Jessica Krug is a tenured professor at George Washington University. and she is in the history department. She's a tenured faculty in the history department. And so she came out with a medium.com article. She came out with a Medium article that she wrote. And she pretty much outed herself as a scholar that is a woman that has been living a scholarly and non-scholarly life as a Black woman. Jessica Krug is white. She's a white woman. She is not a Black woman. She's a tenured faculty member, is involved in social justice movements, and is out here doing scholarship on the diaspora, on the Africana diaspora, is out here writing books, getting book deals, just released her last book in 2018. Is going around in conferences, is purporting herself to be a Black woman, has done so in her career. This woman received a Fulbright. This woman has received scholarship and funding from like so many big institutions and systems. I even read that her hiring as a faculty member was a diversity hire. So living as a Black woman, living as a Black academic. I want you to sit with that with me for a minute. This person's out here living like a Black academic. And so she came out with this Medium article, and what in it, I'm not gonna tell you much more than that, but it was really indignant. It's a non-apology apology. There's no apology really attributed to it. And she's just, from reading it, clearly trying to get ahead of a story that was clearly about to be broken on her identity. This woman just had an article come out in Essence magazine online at the end of August of 2020 as a Black woman. It's since been taken down. It is now archived. You can find that if you do a search for it online. This woman has said that she gave many a tall tale. She has said that she was Latinx. She has said that she was Afro-Latina. She has said that she was Afro-Caribbean. She has said that she was from Afro-Caribbean from the Bronx, okay? The Bronx, New York. She's also said so many things about her identity, stories about parents being drug addicts or having issues, and so a big mess. I'm not gonna say this person's name anymore because I don't wanna give them any more spotlight, but academic Twitter, Black Twitter, Twitter started to blow up with this story. Let's see. Started to blow up with this story. In addition to blowing up with the story, several prominent Black male figures that are in the social justice and intellectual lane, especially on Twitter with pretty large followings, have come out to then apologize and say that, hey, I was friends with this person, they're in my community, I defended them against so many other people that were suggesting that they weren't Black, that something was off. There's several Black men on the internet that have been caping or have showed that they were caping for this woman, right? And so they've since apologized and all of this. More context, Black women academics, Black women scholars have gone on to say, told you so. I spoke whispers in the corner. I said something about this. People didn't believe that she was a Black woman, telling tall, exaggerated tales of her understanding of Blackness and attributing it to whatever she would attribute it to, such as the ghetto, the hood. I grew up partially in the hood. When I was a kid, my family lived in Brooklyn, East New York, Bed-Stuy, Brownsville. I know the hood. I'm from New York City. And for you to just ascribe that part of the world, the part of the US, the part of any hood, any day, and attribute it to Blackness immediately? OD wild. Okay. Oh, there's a lot going on here. I myself, as a Black academic in training, I was dumbfounded. There's a lot of issues happening here. There's an issue of colorism. There's an issue of folks doing Black studies, of Black African diasporic work, research, and getting farther with their identity because someone deems them more palatable. Because they may not look like me, they may be lighter hued, they may have different texture, different features, finer features. And so there is an element of colorism, texturism, featureism for sure. There is an issue of Black women academics doing similar work, not getting tenure track positions, or getting the tenure track position, but not getting the actual tenure. Especially at such a well-known institution like George Washington, GW, right? I want to read you all something that the history department faculty made a statement on this situation just yesterday. They made a statement. I'm going to read it. This is from the history department on Twitter. GW History Department is their handle on Twitter. It reads, the members of the faculty of the George Washington University Department of History are shocked and appalled by Dr. Jessica Krug's admission on September 3rd, 2020, that she has lied about her identity her entire career. With that, she has termed her audaciously deceptive appropriation of an Afro-Caribbean identity. She has betrayed the trust of countless and current and former students, fellow scholars of Africana studies, colleagues in our department and throughout the historical discipline, as well as community activists in New York City and beyond. The discipline of history is concerned with truth-telling about the past. With her conduct, Dr. Krug has raised questions about the veracity of her own research and teaching. Accordingly, the department calls upon Dr. Krug to resign from her position as Associate Professor of History at GW. Failing that, the department recommends the rescinding of her tenure and the termination of her appointment. That is what, end quote. That is what the faculty members from the history department that this person currently has a job in, this is what they said. This is wild, okay? It is very, very wild. The university themselves tweeted like that they, let me pull it up. Hold up, the university Twitter. I'm pulling it up right now so I can get you the right thing. They tweeted about it, about knowing about it, seeing the thing, and I'm gonna tell you, they said on their Twitter, the university themselves tweeted on September 3rd, we are aware of the post by Jessica Krug and are looking into the situation. We cannot comment further on personnel matters. And then 18 hours later, they had an actual statement. I'm gonna tell you what it says because I don't wanna mess it up. Actually, it's really long, so I'm not gonna read you all of it. And they have on their actual website, update regarding blankety blank. We're taking this situation seriously and are here to support our community. Provost Blake and Dean Welbeck write in message to GW community. Dear GW community, many of you understandably have questions in the wake of the Medium post by GW faculty member blank blank. While the university reviews the situation, Dr. Krug will not be teaching her classes this semester. We are working on developing a number of options for students in those classes, which will be communicated to affected students as soon as possible. We want to acknowledge the pain the situation has caused for many in our community and recognize that many students, faculty, staff, and alumni are hurting. Students who have been affected are encouraged to seek support from blah, 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 blah. Woo! Please know that we are taking this situation seriously and we are here to support our community. Now, you got a whole, you doing so much garbage moves that you got a whole page here, landing page. Anyway, so why am I even talking about this? I'm talking about this because this is atrocious. This is something that is happening in my field, not my field. I want to say this is something that is happening in the academic world of which I'm a part of, not in my field, okay? But as somebody that hopes to be a faculty member, this is something that's really outrageous. It really continues to underscore that there is, there are certain types of people and phenotypes that are welcome in the academy, that are more welcome than others, especially with the unrest, the civil unrest, the racial injustice and unrest, police brutality, all of the things that are happening right now, in this very moment that we're living in. We have, we see that Black studies lines are being cut, faculty lines, jobs are being dismissed for financial, budgetary reasons. Universities are starting to do this, right? And then we also see some universities all of a sudden creating tenure lines, but hiring white folks to talk about it, to talk about Black studies. We see folks all of a sudden hiring or bringing in temporary faculty or bringing people in to do workshops and things, but won't give them tenure track positions. So there's an issue with that. There's many issues with that. There's issues especially with folks being hired to talk about Black studies, to talk about Africana diaspora work in a context that is foreign to them, that they have not lived, that is not true and accurate and authentic to them. There is an issue with information being more palatable from certain phenotypes. There's an issue with that. Certain Black scholars look a certain way and are not always welcome to the same kind of grace, the same kind of opportunities are not given to other folks that look like me, that are undeniably, phenotypically, unquestionably Black. I am a Black woman. I am not a white woman masquerading as a Black woman. Does that hurt my chances on the job market? I don't know, but I know. So, you know, we have this woman pretending to be Black. We have this woman pretending to be Afro-Latina. We have this woman pretending to be from the Bronx and the hood, whatever. And we really need to be considering race. We need to be considering ethnicity. We need to be considering who do we center to tell our stories and to write our scholarship and to get these opportunities to be the face of scholarship and research. It is beyond all of that. It is also so intellectually dishonest. And the work also requires that you build trust with people, that people trust you and you trust them, and you build relationships, you collaborate with people, that you write with others, that you research with others. You know, now I'm wondering, did you even earn your doctorate? Did you earn the doctorate? Did you cheat your way through the doctorate? Did you obviously lie with an identity and a work and attribute it to something that is not your lived experience? And so in a moment in time where we're living that is very anti-intellectual by nature, this does not help, especially when folks in the academy, some folks, gatekeepers, problematize Black studies, ethnic studies, disability studies, gender studies, as not really research, but me-search. And so, you know, just last week or the week before, you know, I was on here with, you know, the good Dr. Ibe Lamberts, and we were talking about some of this, right? And so I don't know what's gonna happen. People are calling for this person's resignation. They have not resigned. People are calling for the tenure track to be taken. That has not happened. As a scholar who thinks particularly about Caribbean identity, Caribbean race in the Caribbean, ethnicity in the Caribbean, it is particularly haunting and frustrating that someone could find a way in and communicate themselves as such and purport themselves as such as a community and just weasel their way in for their entire career. I don't even know what to say. I think that this is a reckoning. This is part of the larger reckoning for education in this moment. It's part of the larger reckoning for educational institutions and the departments and people looking to get in front of the line and do work when it's like, who are you? How do you have a tie to this community? How are you connected? And sometimes when you ask those questions, people look at you like, oh, that's not PC, oh, you shouldn't say that, blah, 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 blah. But when people raise questions, certain people are not taking them seriously. And then you have something like this happens with an academic Rachel Dolezal for all intents and purposes. And I wonder how many more individuals there are. I wonder how many. I'm sure there are quite a few. So, you know, if you're a Black academic, if you are a Black thinker, writer, I'm just sending mad good vibes, mad love, community vibes to us. And I'm also suggesting that you get out there and do your work and be even more driven than ever and even more in your face than ever. Put your work out there because people are masquerading, and Blackness, Black identity is up for grabs when people understand the dissent and the discord within the Black community about who is and who isn't. Then people can find a way in. People can play around with people's imagination. People can make people think, well, we do have light folks in the community. We do have, yeah, but light skin is not the same as somebody being white pretending to be Black. It's not, right? It's not. You know, especially in the Caribbean, we have people that have, and I say it every week, people are mixed up, have all sort of genealogy, have all sorts of DNA running through them, all sorts of people from this place and that place and that place and that place. That is quite normal in the Caribbean. You have white Caribbeans. That is not abnormal. This woman didn't stay in her lane and instead took a seat that could have been for an actual Black woman scholar. It actually has defrauded, has lied, has broken trust, has broken the mores of the way that we conduct research and we include ourselves in the work and we do qualitative work, we do qualitative research, we do work that thinks about the person and is telling a story, and we tell people's history and people's story. And I don't know how a person steals an identity. I don't know how a person steals a culture. I don't know how a person steals a heritage. These things are absolutely just mind-blowing to me, but what do I know? I'm a third-year PhD student looking to get my degree. I'm a Black woman looking to get my degree, looking to finish this PhD so I can get in the job market, get me a good job, and go on and do the things that I want to do with research. And you have people out here pretending to be me, pretending to be you. I'm not gonna lie, fam. It really, really, really hurt me. That day I had such a headache, my head was throbbing, that so many Black men just ate it up with a spoon and were so welcoming and supportive of this person. And I wonder, what those conversations may have looked like. What was this woman allowed to say? And then on the other hand, Black women not being listened to, not being centered in their voices, being dismissed. I know this. I've been in many rooms, many rooms. I've experienced it myself. So, you know, that is what I wanted to say today. I am not really giving any answers. I am saying that this is horrific. It is terrible. It is shameful. It is just horrible. It is a horrible, horrible thing. And I am not going to be turned away from my career. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm not going to do this anymore because of this. I'm not going to let it impact me to a degree that I give up. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be emboldened and more dedicated and more focused because people are out here having imposter syndrome when there are actual imposters impersonating them. You know what I mean? Listen, this is what I had to say today. It's unfortunate. It is unfortunate. And, you know, I just want to remind folks that, you know, I'm here every Saturday, Caribbean Scholar Things on Instagram. And remember that this is a space where all of our island brilliance is welcome. Please join the conversation, whether you are degreed up or not. This is your birthright. This is our birthright. Reasoning belongs to us. I am sending mad good energy to all the Black women, all the Black women academics, all the Black women that are continuing to hold it down and do the thing. So with that, I'm going to say, see you next week.